Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Horror Trans. I'm Stephanie Bree, and this is the show where I, a transgender woman, talk about all things horror. And today we're talking about Slumber Party Massacre. This is my re-review. In my previous series of videos, I did a whole bunch of, mumbo jumbo about the horror canon, and that was just too pretentious for me, and I decided, you know what, who am I to say? So I'm deleting those videos as I replace them with a newer series of videos where I talk about the movie and then I recommend it either as a rental or a buy. So let's go ahead and dig into Slumber Party Massacre yet again. So this movie is a slasher in the 80s, so you kind of have an idea what to expect. It starts out with a girl getting ready for school, listening to a radio broadcast, and you hear this story about this serial killer who escaped from prison, and he's back in town, and the whole town's on alert. And so we follow the kids to school where the serial killer shows up and gets his first kill, and then goes to the van where there's a repair person. I think it was a repair van, and he kills the repair person. And then the teenage girls, are planning a slumber party, hence the name Slumber Party Massacre. And there's one girl who's the unpopular girl who lives across the street from the slumber party, who's not invited. Or, if I remember correctly, maybe she was invited, but it was one of those like fake invitations, like a mock invitation. But either way, she decided not to go. So the girls all get together, and then of course boys show up, and they, do what boys do. They hit on the girls, and the pizza guy shows up, but the pizza guy's dead. The serial killer killed the pizza guy, and then the boys freak out and the girls freak out, and so they send the boys out to go get the cops or get the neighbors or whatever, and the serial killer kills the boys. And then we go back to the house with the girls, and he breaks into the house, and the girls are like running from him, and he starts killing them one by one. And then the girl across the street notices something is weird is going on. She's like babysitting her little sister. So she goes across the street to investigate, finds the dead bodies, gets attacked by the serial killer, and she ends up killing him. Presumably. Obviously, serial killers are never, in these slasher movies, they're never 100% dead because they always get to come back for the sequel, but, we'll talk about that when we get there. So basically what you're looking for in a slasher movie are the kills. And this movie is unique because the killer doesn't use a chainsaw, he doesn't use a machete, he doesn't use a knife, he uses a power drill. And he actually does some creative stuff with the power drill. We get to see dead bodies shoved into the trunk of a car, shoved into the refrigerator. There's some like really cool like framing where you see like a dead body out of frame and the next victim doesn't see the dead body, and so on and so forth. So there's a good amount of tension in this movie. I won't go so far as to call it scary. It's not necessarily scary, but there is tension in this movie, which is what you want in a slasher movie. So this is one of those, technically it's more or less a paint by numbers slasher movie, but it's actually a standout. This is one of the good ones. This is one of the higher quality slasher movies. This is one of the ones that you want to have in your collection. So this is 100% a buy. This is a very good movie. I highly recommend it, and it definitely has some jump scares, but you expect that in a movie like this. This is your typical slasher movie acting, so don't expect Oscar-worthy acting here. The plot barely makes sense, but it's not supposed to make sense. You're just here for the kills, and they are really good kills. And that's all you're looking for, and that's why I definitely recommend this movie as a buy. Thanks for watching.